A very good afternoon, Team Zimbabwe, and welcome to Africa and Beyond Television Network. And let us take a look on a controversial issue raised by Advocate Fulcrum. This is something which is sensitive, very important at the same time. Advocate Fulcrum is suggesting that we need to amend the laws to allow prisoners who are married to enjoy their conjugal rights. So he says denying conjugal rights to spouses of incarcerated individuals raises concerns about the efficacy of our prison system. How can rehabilitation occur when family bonds essential to a person's well-being are disrupted? Our stance is that prison should reform. How can it achieve that if it does not prioritize family life, itself the very core of human existence? Further, why must innocent spouse be punished by being denied conjugal activity whilst at the same time expected to wait faithfully for their incarcerated partner? There is no doubt in my mind that conjugal rights are fundamental human rights, essential for maintaining intimate relationships and promoting rehabilitation. That being the case, the state has a duty to uphold these rights, at least in the name of the innocent party. If you think you can take this up and want to be face of a legal challenge, come. I've checked the spelling 3 times over. Okay. So this is something very important in Zimbabwe. Vasungwa vedu vari mumajere votenderwa here kuita bonde nevarume vavo vavakasiya kudzimba kana kuti nevakadzi vavo vavakasiya kudzimba? This is a very important question which is being asked because we have seen these suggestions for a very long time now. And also we have seen accusations being leveled against very high profile politicians who have been arrested. For example, vanakereke vainzi vakasungwa vakatongerwa kugara mujeri kwenguva refu, asi zvongozobuda zvichinzi mukadzi akazoita nhumbu. The major question is, akaita nhumbu sei? The allegations suggest that vakadzi vaiti pavanoenda kunomuona paya vombopiwa bedroom, pavanoenda kunomuona vonopiwa bedroom. It's possible when you are rich, when you have money. It's possible because you can simply work out nema chef. Zimbabwe inyika ine nzara, which means corruption at any level inogona kuitika zvokuti vanhu munoshaya kuti zvinhu zvazvo zvirombofamba sei. Votoenda unopiwa bedroom ravo, votoita zvavanoita, and nobody questions anything. Anogona kungomuka nhasi achiti nhasi musoro wangu uri kurwara, ombonzi chimboenda kukiriniki. Ari kukiriniki ikoko otonzi nzve ombopiwa room. Handiri kuzviona. So to me that is possible. Here are my views. I believe that if they want to facilitate that to happen, it can happen kuti pajere rega rega vanovaka sort of imba yavanovaka inotori nemibhedha nechichi yekutiwo anenge avhizitirwa nemukadzi wake vanombopota vachienda kudhanduru iroro vonopedzerana, on the condition yekuti mudzimai anouyawo nekachirawo kari nani, such that we don't use mablankets anoshandiswa nemunhu wese wese. And I don't think we need to have a bed in such a room. It must be just a room, inenge chingori room. So also there must be a limitation in terms of for how many years is this person incarcerated. Is this a person who has been incarcerated for life or for maybe 100 years behind bars? Woti tutozva kuti uyu hapasina zvichero mukadzi chaiye hama dzinotaura kuti apa kumirirawo murume arangoshavi. So maybe we need to put into consideration people, number one, people who have lesser sentences, for example up to 20 years. And up to 20 years there is a possibility, the probability is reasonable yekuti anogona kubuda ari mupenyu and will need to reunite with the family. And also the issue of age and the length of the marriage, kuti vane nguva yakaita sei vari marriage, that is another issue. So maybe if those things are put into consideration, they can put guidelines to make it happen. I agree with Advocate Faukram because families have been broken. There are some people who have even got into prison without committing any crimes. And pavanokuzodzokera kumba uri kuwana zvinhu nguva yaenda. But also the major question is, what about those who have been arrested but who are not of age to get married? What are you going to do to them? Because vamwe vavo vava kutoziva varume, vamwe vava kuziva vakadzi, but vava vasina vakadzi vacho kana kuti varume vacho. And then you are giving conjugal rights to spouses, meaning people who have been married. What about to people who have not been married? Vanenge vachidawo those rights. What are you going to do about them? Because the same effects of those married are the same effects of those not married, except for the fact that kana wanga uri mujere hauna mukadzi wako unozowana aenda, but musikana wako unomuwana aenda. Those issues are very important also to consider. It means we need to have a robust debate about this issue before anything is implemented. This issue must not be driven by emotions or by kutsvagambiri. It must be driven by willingness to save families. That is what must be the first goal. And also, I believe that our prisons must be prisons which allow family reunions to happen more frequently. For example, children, for those who are not regarded as dangerous criminals, both women and men, they must be given an opportunity equity every month or every 2 months or every quarter. They are given time, quality time with family. Zvokuti munotoenda mbondoswera mhuri yese muna mudhara wenyu, having family time, quality time, muchikurukura, muchiita sei. I believe kuti those issues must also improve the well-being of our prisoners. And also, there are people vekuti vasungwa, but vanotoenda kunofudza mombe kana kuenda kumunda vari vega vachidzoka, and they don't run away. You see, those are people vekuti vanofana kutombopota vachibvumirwa kuita mafamily visits. They are allowed to go home maybe weekends vachimbonopota vachionawo mhuri dzavo, or even once a month vachimbonoona. These are suggestions. I do not know, guys, kuti how best this can be implemented. Maybe we will need some input from my prison guards, my prison officers. They will need to put more input because so this thing cannot be an issue which can be dealt with by lawmakers on their own. We need raw information from prison officers, not my senior officers. My junior officers must be involved in these issues because ndo vanhu vanoundestanda vasungwa zvakanyanya. They interact more with prisoners and they have better understanding of prisoners more than anyone else, which means we need to look at these issues, understand kuti taita ma-interviews kuma prison officers vari kumajere ese across the country. Then we put their responses to certain answers together and understand what is common in everything else. Then we reason together, we find answers and solutions to this whole issue. I don't know, guys, your thoughts regarding this issue, but personally, I believe that this is a very, very, very important topic raised by Advocate Faukram right here. So, Valentine's nomwe me of Sukre in prison break. Okay, so it's interesting. However, we could take it further and question imprisonment as a means to punish or rehabilitate offenders. So the major issue is, are we putting people into prison for punishment or for rehabilitation? I believe that we must have two categories. There are people vekuti you will never rehabilitate them, hardcore criminals veuchero mukaita sei vachingobuda vari kunodzokorora, and they've been over sentenced zvekuti vanofana kugara ikoko. I believe kuti there are certain people, repeaters vekuti these are people vatone habit yekupara mhosva. These are people who must not be rehabilitated but punished severely such that they don't continue with such a behavior. Then we must have a group of people who must go for rehabilitation, which means we need to self-correct them. We need to correct their crooked parts so that they become upright and they become incorporated into the society once again. So I think we need to have two categories. For those under punishment, there is no need for them to be given such rights. And for those under rehabilitation, they need to have those rights. So I believe it will be an issue also of putting these people into categories, and it will then help us. Skanzana Arnold, what if the innocent spouse infects the inmate with HIV or an STI then, or with a contagious disease? So I think this is an issue which must be thought of, and also the medical professions or professionals must be allowed to deal with this issue and see how best everything can be done. I do not know if STIs can be quickly detected, but as for HIV, maybe we can have a test, and given a chance is not on a window period, then it will be something else. It will then work very, very well. Okay, Teacher Wanda says you are right in your senses, but unfortunately, we don't have prisons in Zimbabwe, but colonial detaining centers. A whole lot of work needs to transform to modern advanced correctional facilities. I agree with the Teacher Wanda. We don't have prisons because the prisons are making even people who got into prison vari vanhu vaiva vekuti vakangoitwa mistakes. Some of them vakatobuda hardcore criminals because of the prison system which we have right here in Zimbabwe. So I agree with him. There is a lot which needs to be done, and also the infrastructure itself does not allow for that to happen. It does not give room for this to happen. Okay, Zganze, the most appropriate approach to this matter is not gaslighting. Instead, advocating for conjugal rights for incarcerated inmates is. At no point did the Minister of Justice receive a document advocating for this, nor deny engagement regarding this issue. Okay, I don't think this is an issue of gaslighting. I believe that if this issue is taken to court, it's a matter of putting down all the reasons, because this issue has never been raised in Parliament, which means it's most likely not going to get that much traction it needs in Parliament, which means given the circumstances and the composition of our Parliament at this point in time, we cannot expect anything positive to happen to this issue, except it is taken to court, it is argued in court, all facts are put in before the courts. Also, the courts are the ones which sentence people, which means the judiciary will be given ample time to put their input, to give their input into this whole thing. And the judgment then, which they are going to give, will be well guided from all angles and all fronts. Because when it is taken to court, the prisons, the prisons department will be a defendant. The Minister of Justice will be the defendant. The Parliament will be the defendant. Everybody will be interested, will be the defendant, which means everybody is going to be given ample time to argue properly, every stakeholder. Also, it allows general citizens to join this case, to give their own input. They can apply to be joined onto the case to also give their input, which means by the way of going to court, it is going to be more robust and it is going to give us a better outlook. This is my own thinking, according to the experience which I have from the courts. So this is it, Team Zimbabwe. This is what I believe, and I hope and believe that this is going to be taken up, and it will be debated. If it fails, it fails. But if it goes through, it goes through. Easy says there are clear and correct platforms to address your concerns, dear Advovo. I believe, Kuti, this is an issue which is being raised, which needs support and awareness. So I don't think that advocate is taking this case to be resolved here or to be debated here. It's an issue where people must know what is happening or what is being thought, and then they give their input. And also, people are given ample time to participate if this thing then proceeds or goes on to court. So I believe that by the issue of someone, everybody can be summoned together so that they talk. This is not going to be a case yekuti kune munhu anenge achinzi uyu munhu apara mhaka yakati kana. No, it's a matter of coming to put our arguments together in a court of law so that we get opinions from all our jurisdictions. If we simply go with it to parliament, it means we are going to find it difficult to exhaust each and every avenue. There are certain stakeholders which won't be given ample time to be part and parcel of this whole issue, and it will be disastrous. So this is it. I do not know your views, your thoughts regarding this whole issue. Let us have a discussion